It is carnival season here in Louisiana, and y'all know what that means. Yep, it does. It means a king cake. I love to call this a Louisiana king cake because carnival is going on many places in the world, lots of other countries, and I know, for instance, France makes a king cake that is made from lots of puff pastry, and they cut designs on the top. It's beautiful, and I believe it's got like almond paste in the middle. So it's totally different than a Louisiana king cake, and so I thought I would call mine that as Louisiana king cake. And I'm going to do it traditional with the cinnamon in it and the icing, and of course our pretty sprinkles. And I love to call it a King Jesus cake because after all, the little baby is Jesus in there. And so I just like to call that because y'all know I love Jesus, and he's the king of all kings, isn't he? So we're going to get started. I'm going to move y'all, the YouTubers. I know y'all can see everything on Facebook, but the YouTubers, I put y'all up a little higher so y'all can see I decorated up here for Mardi Gras, but I know y'all want to get down here to the cooking action. So I'm about to do that with y'all. And so give me just a second and we will get started. All right, y'all, the first thing we're going to do is I went on and brought my hot plate over here so we could just stay here together. I'm going to melt a 1/4 cup of butter, and I use unsalted, and I think if you use salted butter in here, it wouldn't hurt a thing, but I use unsalted butter. That's a 1/4 cup or a 1/2 stick. And don't worry about writing everything down because on the YouTube description box, I promise I'll put the whole recipe in there and even give you the cream cheese option recipe. And I will also change it to the grams and such as that. I have to get on there and do a little studying to get all my measurements out there. Not just American measurements, huh? I am melting this 1/2 stick of butter, and to it, I'm going to add 16 ounces of sour cream or 2 cups of sour cream. And like I say, I'm going to put all these measurements in the description box on YouTube, so don't worry if you miss what I say. Do not worry. To that also is going 1/3 cup of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. A lot of you ask me where I get this salt container, and I got it from LTD Commodities. And it's been a few years back, but I hope y'all can find it. I think somebody said they did find some elsewhere, maybe eBay. But anyway, a lot of y'all ask about it, and I love it too. I know it kind of looks like depression glass, doesn't it? But it's not. It is not. And that's all that's going to go into here. I'm going to just stir this around sort of on a lower heat. I don't want to crank that sour cream up terribly bad. All I'm trying to do is melt that butter. And then I'm going to turn this off and take it off of this burner and let it cool down to 110 Fahrenheit. You know, I'll do the crisscross on that or lower. I don't want it to be too warm where it would kill our active yeast, okay? Because we're going to be adding yeast with this. So I'm going to get this butter melted, and then I'm going to put it off the stove and we'll mix up our yeast. And I'll be back with y'all to do that. All right, y'all, next step is a 1/2 cup of very warm water, okay? Nice and warm, just some tap water. You don't need to boil it or anything. And into it, I'm going to put active dry yeast right here. And I'm going to put 4 1/2 teaspoons of this yeast. Let me count so I won't mess up. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and 1/2. And if you're just using those little single packets of the dry yeast, you would use 2 of those, okay? And I will put that down there too. I'll let you know both ways, just in case. You may not want to use this big old jar, because if you don't cook all the time with yeast, you wouldn't want to get this. And something I do with my yeast, when I get it, I put it in my refrigerator to store it so it will actually stay good for you longer, okay? So little tip, stick it in your refrigerator if you aren't already. And into this warm water and yeast, I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of sugar in there. And yes, you do need to do that step. Yes, you do. So it'll have something to feed off of. And I just stirred it around a little bit, and now we're going to let this sit for about 5 minutes, and it's going to get nice and bubbly. And if it doesn't bubble for you, that means your yeast is no good. So your bread's not going to turn out good. But I'll show y'all. I want to come show y'all what it looks like right now. See how it's just like that. No big deal, but it's going to get real bubbly on us. And I'm going to wait 5 minutes, and I'll come back on here with you. While we're waiting on our sour cream mixture to get 110 or below Fahrenheit, and we're waiting on our 5 minutes for our yeast to get bubbly for us, I'm going to go on and sift our flour. And this is all-purpose flour. You can use bread flour, but bread flour will make it really, really, really tender. And a Louisiana king cake has got a little bit of a chew on it, but it will be great and wonderful if you want to use bread flour. But I do not. I do not think this is my 1 cup measure. Boy, I'm about to mess up, aren't I? Hang on. Hang on, y'all. Give me just a sec, please. Here we go. I got me another one. 1 cup. I need 6.5 cups. I don't know that I'm going to use all that, but that's what I need to start with. Then you just kind of have to go from there. But I'm going to walk this step down with y'all, so do not fear. Okay, y'all count with me. This is 2. All right, that's 2. We'll do 2 at a time. And this is a pretty little sifter, y'all. It is a Pioneer Woman. It came from Walmart, and it's just beautiful. It's got all sorts of spring flowers on it, and being that it's still wintertime around here, it'll just perk you right up. Y'all see it? Isn't it cute? So pretty. So pretty and cute. All right, that was 2. Let's do 3, 4. 3, 4. I just like to sift my flour when I'm baking bread of any kind. Get any lumps out, and it just aerates it a bit and tends to make your bread just a little more tender. It's almost like you can just tell, and that way then I know how much flour I'm using. Sometimes it's just so packed down in our containers. All right, that was 3, 4. 5. It's a lot of bread in it. This recipe says that it makes 2 king cakes. We'll see. We'll see. Jury's still out on that. I don't know. We'll see. But it ought to. It's a lot of flour in it. All right. That's 5, 6. Now it says we need a half just in case. So let's get our half out. That's not a half. I'm on the struggle bus. Here we go. We got us a half. And into this, I love to put, y'all can look up king cake recipes and you'll see. If you look up 10, you'll have 10 different recipes. If you look up 20, you'll have 20 different recipes. A lot of king cake recipes out there. So, this is just one. This is just one we're doing. And this one's completely from scratch. And y'all know I'm going to do an easier version of one for us too. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I promise. Something I love to put in here, and lots of us do for a king cake, is some nutmeg. And you do not want to put a ton of nutmeg, okay? Because you don't want to taste it in your bread. You just want it to enhance that yeasty flavor. So it's not like I'm going to put maybe a 1/4 teaspoon, literally. I'm always dropping my nutmegs. I know, y'all seen me before. I don't know how to hold on to them good. Maybe that was my sign that I need to stop right there. Yeah, just about a 1/4 teaspoon. Just like that. Nothing crazy. No craziness. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see this yeast bubbling? Ooh, it's very active, isn't it? Y'all see how much bigger it is? It's got 49 seconds left. You see how much taller and much more bubbly it is? Isn't that wonderful? Y'all love yeast, I do. It almost smells florally, doesn't it? It's beautiful, beautiful. Okay, we got our 6.5 cups of sifted all-purpose flour with a sprinkle of nutmeg. And if you don't want to put that, don't do it. Don't worry about it. It's not going to be that big a deal. Okay, guys, it is time. Look at our yeast. It's about to come up out of its little container. It is very active, isn't it? Okay, let's see. Y'all see I have my dough hook on our mixer. And I got my glass mixing bowl. Yes, I do. So y'all can see, which I love. And then I still want y'all to see what I'm doing. I'm going to pour this sour cream mixture over in here. Just make sure it's below 110 degrees. And honestly, if you just melt that butter and you put everything else in there, it's not going to be over. And we've been letting it sit over there for a while and cool down anyway off the burner. No, I don't want to waste any. I'm sorry. I'm taking longer, but I don't want to waste, so I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Is that what we say? Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Okay, that's enough, right? All right, guys. And now we're also going to put in our yeast mixture. And we do not want to waste any of it either. No, we don't. Aren't y'all proud I called it it instead of him? I started to, but I had to stop myself. That already smells so good. I just love yeast. I love bread so very much. There we go. And I'm going to put my little dough hook back on here, and I'm going to let this mix for a minute or so, or a few minutes, to let it get incorporated all together. Y'all hear my motor? He's making a little something, isn't he? Y'all, I let it mix around just a minute or so. And now I'm going to put 2 eggs in there. 2 of my girls' fresh eggs. Yes, I am. And I always crack my eggs not into my bowl, just in case the shell, or just in case something might be wrong with an egg. So I don't do that in there, just in case. They smell good. One at a time. I'm going to get it back mixing. One. And 2. Something I like to do, because it's just that dough hook on there, is I'll come down and I'll just scrape on the bottom and make sure nothing's not getting mixed in there. That was a lot of negatives, wasn't it? Oh, goodness. Sometimes I stay paranoid. Y'all see me keep looking that one of my cameras didn't get turned on. I've done that. I've done that with y'all, and then I've got a whole section missing. And it is heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking. Okay, guys. Now, at this point, I'm going to turn this back on, but I know it makes noise. And this is when I start slowly adding my flour in there. I'm going to add 2 cups and let it mix a little bit, and 2 cups more. Let me get me a big old spoon. Why not, huh? I know. I don't have a big old spoon available. I tell y'all what. But it's in my dishwasher. Yeah, here's a big spoon. I always think I have everything and I don't, guys. I'm just going to slowly add in half the flour, like I say, just a couple of cups, and let that come together. Like I say, we won't do this one just from scratch. I'm going to do another one that's semi-homemade, you know. It's still homemade, but it's not quite as, you don't have to make yeast rise and all that kind of stuff, but you have to let it rise. But I'm going to use some of that pre-bought dough that's already been mixed. So all this will be out of that equation. Alright, I'm going to mix in some more. Y'all, I do this because, like, standing here, a lot of times I'm by myself and have been for years and years, and it's just total silence and it's just therapeutic. Y'all know what I mean? I bet a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. It's just like So therapeutic. I don't know how to explain it. I'm going to keep doing this until I get it all in there, except maybe for a half a cup, and I'll show you when, at that point, I'll show you when I decide whether. Okay, y'all. It hadn't needed just a couple of minutes, but what I'm waiting on with this last half cup of flour in here, what I'm looking for is if I can put my fingers on this and it not stick. Okay, that's what you're looking for. If it's already to that point, which it is, y'all see I'm doing that, and y'all see I have nothing, I don't need that other half cup. Okay, but I use that to put him out on the counter. The I'll quit saying in a minute, huh? So let me get this out on the counter. I'm going to get everything cleaned up so we can put this out on the counter, okay, guys? Because y'all know I'm going to wipe it off after my mixer's been sitting on it. And I'll be right back. All right, everybody, we're back. We're back that quick. I'm going to put some flour out here on my countertop for us to do a little kneading. Always making a mess, aren't we? I know it. I'm going to roll him out here. It already feels so nice. Ooh, bread just feels so nice and wonderful. I love it. I'm going to use my spatula just to get any little pieces off of here, which was so little. That was just almost a waste of time. Now what I'm going to do is knead him just for a minute. You can do like that and that and that. And what you're going to do is knead on him just for a few minutes until he gets nice and soft. And he already feels pretty soft, so it's not like extremely necessary. I'm just wanting to show y'all what I'm doing. Y'all see what I'm doing? You can push him like that and then fold into it, or fold over this way and push him, and then turn him, fold him and push. That's kneading. Kneading, kneading. Again, very therapeutic. Very, very, very therapeutic. A lot of y'all already know that. I know you do. Like I say, he was already so soft once that dough hook really did most of the work for us. I just wanted to show you what you do. And when you knead him, he gets so soft and smooth. Can y'all see there that he's a nice smooth texture? That's what we want right there. I just used the mixing bowl he was in. You sit right there, buddy. I've got some vegetable oil because it has no flavoring for me to add to it. I know a lot of times use olive oil, but I'm just going to do vegetable oil this time. And I put that down in there to coat him. And then you kind of flip it once in there. Make sure you get it coated, and make sure he's got a good bit on the top and all the sides of that bowl, just like that, so he won't stick anywhere. Just like that. Yes, I am looking for my towel. Let me wash my hands, guys. There it is. There it is. And now I'm going to use this towel. Isn't this towel pretty? It's got the purple, gold, and green fleur-de-lis on there. And I'm going to cover him. And he needs to be in a little bit of a warm spot, which in the kitchen I've got my under-the-counter lights. I'm going to set him under there. And no drafts, so that's why I'm kind of covering. And we're going to let him rise somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour. And honestly, what you're looking for is not necessarily the time, but you want him to double in size. So we're going to let him come on up and rise. And then I'll be back with y'all. In the meantime, y'all, while we're waiting on our king cake to rise, we can mix up what we're going to put in the middle. And like I say, this one's traditional. I will add on YouTube, in the description box where I put the recipe, I will add how you can put cream cheese in it as well. You just mix that up. It's cream cheese, egg, and sugar, maybe a little vanilla. And I usually put it in a piping bag or a Ziploc, and you'll just squirt you a line down through there about maybe an inch thick, okay, before you roll your king cake. But I'm going to just stick with the traditional one today. First thing we're going to have is a half a cup of white sugar. White sugar right there, 1/2 cup. Then I'm going to get a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I love brown sugar. I know y'all know that by now. I do. So I'm going to add that little bit of that molasses flavor over in there. Really make it Louisiana style, huh? And I'm going to put, this is cinnamon. I'm going to put about, that was 2 teaspoons. I was going to put about 3, but I think I'll start with the 2. The about 2, since it dumped over in there, huh? Yeah, now I'm going to just get this mixed around real good with my brown sugar. What would help real good with this would be a whisk, wouldn't it? Yeah, and I'll get this ready for when we roll out and we sprinkle our cinnamon sugar down in there in the inside of our king cake. And the other thing I'm going to do is I have a 1/3 cup of butter, unsalted butter, and I'm going to melt this in the microwave, but just melt it. It just really needs to be just soft, not hot, okay? So we can paint that on our dough as well. So I'm going to go do that and continue getting cleaned up. And hey y'all, I wanted to show y'all what I mean about this butter. See how it's still creamy, butter colored. It's not clear, you know what I'm talking about? That's what I mean about the butter. I want it to be about like that, just nice and softened, okay? And so now we wait. It has been 45 minutes exactly, and look how big he's gotten. He's so big, isn't he? One thing we're going to do, we're going to turn him out on here, and we're going to roll him. And I always like to kind of pre-measure and show y'all how I do that. I know this is a sewing tape measure, but I use it in my kitchen. I do not sew. My mom sews, my Aunt Trudy sews, my grandmother sewed just about everything that my little sisters and I wore, but I don't sew, I cook. So this is why I use this. It's real handy in the kitchen. So I kind of just mark it. I'm going to need about 2 feet or 24 inches. And of course on the recipe I'll let you know how many centimeters or whatever. So I kind of earmark it so I can see how much. And I'm fixing to turn y'all down here on my counter so you don't necessarily see me. Let me make sure y'all can see the whole workspace. I think y'all both can. I think both of you can. I believe you can. One more check. Yeah, so I kind of see about how long I'm gonna roll him out to. Okay, guys. Put that over here. And we're preheating the oven right now to 350 degrees, okay? And our little flour that we had left over from sifting, I'm going to put out here on our surface. It's been 45 minutes. I've been doing all sorts of other stuff. I haven't been sitting in here in the kitchen washing him. I've been cleaning up my mess. And I got our supper ready too, ready to go in the oven. Alright guys, let me get that out of our way. I see it kind of gets in our way. Yes, I do. I took my rings off. And now, oh yeah, I keep forgetting that this is supposed to be a double batch, guys. I keep telling myself, Amy, remember that. Because it's huge. I'm going to cut it in half. Just like that. And I'll make one of them with y'all. I won't make y'all sit here and watch me make both of them. No, I won't. Alright, let's see here. Wish I could get y'all all a little closer. Let me see if I can do some scoop. Like that. Is that better? Maybe so. Okay, guys. He's still a bit oily. Let me get some more flour. Y'all know I oiled him good so he wouldn't stick in the bowl he was in. And we're going to need to try to get him out to that about that 24 inches long, about 2 feet long. I'm going to keep flipping him, making sure he's not trying to stop. And I'll probably turn off from here because I don't want y'all to have to watch all this. And then I'll come back because I got to coax him. Y'all know how bread is. You got to do it and then you got to do it again. I got him rolled out and I said 24 inches long or 2 feet and he's about 26, 27, so I stopped there, and he's only about a foot wide, and I think I'm gonna stop there too. If you want to do 3 braids in your cake, you need to do him about 15 wide, but he's 13 and a half, so anyway, this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do a twist instead of 3 braids. Sometimes I like to do the 3 braids, but it doesn't really matter. So about halfway, what you can eyeball, come down here and cut about halfway like that. And now we're gonna take that softened butter, I like to call it, rather than melted. And we're going to paint it in here, and try to leave about an inch border around your edges so this dough will pinch together for you, okay? We're going to paint it on here. You see, if it was hot butter, it'd get our dough too hot. And if it's cold butter, it'll stretch our dough, won't it? So that's why I like it kind of this really softened way. I hope this doesn't take too much long. I'm trying to hurry. I don't want to take too much time doing this, but I always like to do things really nice. Really nice. Just like this. Y'all, it's really hot here in Louisiana tonight. It's trying to bring a rain in, and I can hear the crickets and the frogs out the kitchen window. It sounds so pretty. Sounds like a summer night out there instead of a winter night. But that's Louisiana. We've got some of the craziest weather, I do believe. I do believe we do. It can be icy one day and put shorts on the next day. Okay, y'all see what I did? I've left a border around everywhere so I can get dough to pinch together. I don't want to waste any of this butter, though. That's good flavor, isn't it? Let me get the rest of it on there. All right, y'all. We'll move forward now. We've got our brown sugar and cinnamon mixture. And we're going to start sprinkling it on there. And if you don't like as much cinnamon as I put, then you can put less cinnamon. You can do it however you want to. Some people only put about 1 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon in there. So you making your king cake, you make it however you want to. Again, try to stay and keep that border so you can pinch dough together. At this point too, if you're wanting to put that cream cheese in, that mixture I'm going to put in the recipe description box, you could mix it up and put it, like I say, in a Ziploc bag and cut the end out, or a piping bag, and you'll pipe you a line of it down through here, down in the middle, only about an inch big around, okay? You don't want to have tons of cream cheese. You'll have it blowing it out. It'll be blowing out your cake. Just enough. I'll put some in our icing, so we'll still get a little flavor with the cream cheese. How about that? That'll work, won't it? Okay, guys, I'll just come along here and kind of even it up just a little bit like that. All right, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to begin to roll him. Just like a nice little roll. Just like this. Roll, roll, roll. I'm trying to hurry so I don't have to turn off our camera here a few minutes on us. There we are. You'll see when I get that roll out. Now I'm going to come along and I'm going to pinch. I'm going to pinch that dough. Y'all hear Jax? He getting excited about this king cake. Oh, yes, he is. Y'all see how I'm pinching that edge together like that? And I'm going to put that on the bottom. Y'all see I've got both of them rolled, and I went along and I pinched the dough together on that little edge. Now I'm going to actually go along and maybe just roll them a bit, kind of stretch them just a little more, kind of get them uniform in size. Y'all see what I'm doing though. Y'all understand, and kind of get that seam that we made on the bottom there. But when we go to twisting him or braiding him, it might show anyway, but it rises and looks real pretty anyway. Okay guys, you see our 2 rolls, and like I say, sometimes I'll cut 3 and then you'll braid it like you're braiding hair. This way we're just going to twist it, okay? Because we don't have 3, so I'm going to kind of pinch that dough together there. And now I'm just going to twist like that. Twist, twist, twist. And then I'm going to turn him around just like that. Kind of want him to be a little bigger there. Some people like to put like a tin coffee can in here in the middle, but I don't. I don't care if it gets just a little weird out of shape. It's no big deal. It's what a king cake's all about, isn't it? And I'm going to kind of twist these pieces together just a little bit like that. Kind of pinch those together. Make it look the best you can right here at this part. It's not that big a deal. It'll rise up and look real pretty for us. Okay, guys. And I've got my pan here, right here. And I'm going to put him on there. And get him straightened up again. Straighten yourself up, boy. And if you don't like him in a round, you can kind of do him oblong, okay? Kind of in an oval, however you want to do it. Just like that, guys. He smells so good. I truly wish y'all could smell him. He smells divine. Okay, guys, we're going to take our little tea towel and I'm going to cover him up. And all he needs to rise now, he needs to double in size, just about 20 or 30 minutes, okay? So we'll... Okay, y'all, it has been 20 minutes. You can go 20 to 30 if you want to. And see how he's gotten poofy for us and pretty? I'm going to slide him into the oven that's been preheating to 350 degrees, and he's going to go anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes in there. That depends on how golden brown you like him or not. So I'll let you know when I get him out how many minutes he went. Timer just went off, but I turned it off before I got on here. Let me get it. Let's see what this is looking like. Ooh. Does that not look pretty? And we hadn't even decorated him, have we? I know it. He looks so good. It smells wonderful. Let me sit it over here to cool. And I'm going to put my other one in there that's been rising. Because y'all know we're making two. And then we'll mix up our... I'm going to let him cool completely is what I was trying to say. And then I'm going to mix up the icing with y'all. And then we'll ice him and we'll decorate. Hey y'all, I told y'all how long it'd be in the oven. And I didn't. I forgot, didn't I? But I went 25 minutes. And I'll show you again how brown he is. And like I say, that's totally up to you, okay? But he's a nice, just a light golden brown, I guess is what I did. So you can go anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, just whatever you want to do. All right, guys, let's let him cool and the other one bake. My granddaughter Addie, she FaceTimed me on her little iPad, and we've been talking for a while, so it gave our cakes a lot of time to cool. And we're gonna make this icing. I love it when she calls me, because I'm grandma, you know, but she'll get home from school and she'll call me and we'll sit in front of her little vanity and she'll be in the mirror putting on makeup and I'll get in mine and we'll put on makeup and fix our hair and just have a good old time playing over the FaceTime on the phone. And it's a lot of fun. I have just as much fun as she does. I really do. So anyway, like I say, gave our cakes plenty of time to cool for us. And I took them and I put them on some cake boards, just some cardboard cake boards. I got these at Walmart, okay? And I ordered my little baby Jesuses from Amazon. And I got those there, so we won't forget to tuck him inside. And another thing I was going to talk to y'all about, I know this made two, was what the recipe said. These are a nice size. You see this. This is a nice size. But if I was going to give this, I'm going to just give one to one of my sets of children and one to my other, both my sons and their kids. And so, but if I weren't going to do that and I was going to give it to a place of business, just say one that I shop at or a doctor's office that I go to, I probably would have used all the dough and made a nice oblong one, okay, and braided it 3 times. So just to let you know how I feel about that. I know I said I'd talk to y'all and see if it made 2 or just 1. It does make 2 decent, real nice size ones, but like I say, if I was going to share with more than just one family, I would probably use all that dough and make a really oblong, bigger one and do 3 braids. So anyway, let's make some icing and get these things prettied up, right? Yeah. I like, you can omit this part, but I've got 2 ounces of just some Philadelphia cream cheese right here. I just cut me about 2 ounces off my brick. And I soften that just a second or so, about 10 seconds in the microwave. You see that? I want y'all to see what I did. It's not hot, but it's softened. All right. And now I have 3 cups of confectioner sugar or powdered sugar. See if I can pour that in there without making too big of a Amy mess, right? I've got a ½ teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I always say use a good one. Don't use an off-brand one that has a weird little flavor that you don't, it'll ruin your whole thing. So just use a good, nice brand vanilla. Now see, I don't want to waste any of that vanilla. I have 3 tablespoons of melted butter. This is unsalted because I always use unsalted, so I know how much salt I'm putting in something, but you use what you have. I don't think it'd bother it too much if it had a little salt in there. And then I love to put in mine, again, you don't have to put this, but I love lemon juice because it just kind of, it tones down the sweetness and enhances lots of flavors in there. So I love to put lemon. You don't taste the lemon, okay? Not as much as I'm putting. I'm not going to put any zest because we are icing with this, so I don't want a big little zest in there. Not on king cake. I might otherwise. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of my fresh lemon juice. And I do use fresh lemon for this. That's 1. I don't see any seeds, so I'm going to let it go. And here is 2. There we are. And now I have 4 tablespoons of milk, but I'm not sure that I'll need to use all that, so I'm going to start with 1. And then I'm going to stir this and see what it looks like, see what we need in here. I hope all of y'all are staying safe. I said I wasn't going to mention this year that we're not having Mardi Gras because I didn't want to date this video, but we're not having it. For our safety, right? I know. I've ridden in floats many times and dressed up, and it's all sorts of fun. I am going to need another tablespoon of milk, so that's going to be 2 tablespoons that I'm using. The reason why I say just start and add, because we don't know how dense our powdered sugar is, you know what I mean? So we just need to start from there. We want it to be still fairly thick. I don't want it to run off the cake when I put it on there. I want it to be fairly thick on there. Of course, I'm going to do that with y'all and show y'all what I mean. So that's why I add 1 tablespoon at a time. Because we just don't know exactly how much powdered sugar that is, say in 3 cups, do we? Okay, y'all, I'll show you. This is still pretty thick. Y'all see that? It's slowly running out of that whisk. So 1 more tablespoon, that means 3 tablespoons. But yeah, I've ridden in the Queens and Kings float a couple of times. 2 different ones of my friends, or mine and John's friends, were asked to be king and queen here in North Louisiana. And of course, we've been down to Mardi Gras 2 or 3 different times. A lot of fun. We stay at the Marriott Hotel in New Orleans, and you can literally just walk out on the street. It's Canal Street, and enjoy the parade and catch all kinds of beads, and then step right back into your gated hotel. So it's pretty good right there. That's where we've always been. Okay, y'all, this is nice. I think I'm going to end up using the 4 tablespoons. This is, I don't know, this is really nice consistency. Let me whisk it around some more. Like I say, you don't have to put that cream cheese if you don't want to, but I love the flavor of cream cheese. And it's almost a traditional flavor in this king cake as well. Lots of us love the cream cheese. I think that's going to be about right. We're going to leave it at that. Tap all that out of there. So that was 3 tablespoons of milk. But on my recipe on YouTube description box, I'll put 2 to 4, you know, in case you need it. I think if I put that 4th one, it might be just a little too runny. Okay, guys, we'll start with him. I'm going to share this with both my boys and their families. Let's see here. Little baby Jesus, we need to tuck him in somewhere. You can either go from the top or you can kind of go from the bottom if you want to. A lot of people bake their little baby Jesus in there, but I don't. But I know a lot of people that do, and it doesn't, nothing happens to it. So, in case that was going to be a question, but I know. Y'all see, I just tucked him in there and I pushed him up in the cake, so nobody know where he is. And lots of us like to say that if you get it, you're the king for the day or the king for the evening, or it means you have to make the king cake the next year for everybody, or it means that you have to buy the king cake for everybody. So whatever you want it to mean, it's just a fun little thing. Just a fun little old thing to do. And I'm going to start. I hope y'all can see me good. Tell you what. Let's stop and let's get y'all down here on this cake. I know y'all rather see this cake than me. I know you would. Let me just scoot everybody forward. Get y'all on up here like that. There we go. And I'm going to do the same with y'all. Let's just pull y'all forward right here. I hope. Yeah. Let's see here. Y'all can come a little further forward, can't you? Now then, I like that. Yes. And I imagine y'all like that too. Okay, guys. Remember, we've got 2 to do, so I know this is a lot of icing. And I'm just kind of going back and forth like this. But honestly, we want a lot of icing to kind of drape on it because we're going to sprinkle that sugar on there, aren't we? That pretty colored sugar. Yes, we are. We've always, seems like every time we end up at Mardi Gras, we're leaving out on a cruise from down at the port of New Orleans. That's where we go if we want to take a cruise. And every time we got the best pricing to get on that cruise ship if we were leaving out during Mardi Gras time. So leave it up to us to zip down to New Orleans during Mardi Gras, but it let us be there. We'd go the night before and stay in the hotel. And then we were able to enjoy a little bit of the parade and some of the good eats before we left out. Then we knew we wouldn't miss the boat too. The next morning, you know, that's always this concern. What if something happens? Flat tire or anything? So we'll just go spend the night before. Y'all see what I'm doing? And I know a lot of people, they'll stick their hands down in there. They'll literally just smear it with their hands. But I'm going to start with that. Y'all see him? I want enough to go on the other. He looks pretty good like that, doesn't he? He looks tasty anyway. And if y'all don't mind, I'll just keep y'all on here and we'll do this other little cake that we made together. Let's hide baby Jesus in here. Get up in there, baby Jesus. Get all tucked in. He's King Jesus is what he is. So this is a King Jesus cake to me. To me and you and all of us. Yes, it is. He is the King of all kings. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. This is more of a Catholic religion sort of thing that goes on before Lent, before they give something up. I worked with Virginia. Hey, Virginia. She gets us to call her Aunt Virginia. She's a sweetie. She's Catholic, and she'd always give up something that she dearly loved for Lent. She did the real thing. Yes, she did. Bless her heart, and she did good with it. Okay, guys. This is just enough for both cakes. I like that for a nice helping on both cakes. A nice icing over. Yes. Make them both pretty, because our icing is what's going to hold all our pretty sugar. Yes, it is. I know I don't want to waste any of that icing. I went out and fed the birds today. I'll feed them a whole bag out there during the winter time. And so for the next week or so, it will sound like Noah's Ark out there. Honest to goodness, it's so many pretty birds singing and flying in. You can even hear their wings. It's so many of them. They sound like a big motor. No joke. I love it. John and I both love that. That's just cool to us. It's like they're singing, telling us thank you for putting out all that seed for them during the winter. It gets tough during the winter. Yes, it does. I wonder if I could get both of these little... Yeah, I believe we can. I believe we can. I think he's the prettiest though, don't y'all? Let's just concentrate on him. Not that it matters, because they both taste wonderful. The both of them. Yes, they do. Okay, guys. These I bought, I think I ordered these from Amazon. It's crystal sugar. And then I've got sanded sugar. Let's see here. This I got at Walmart and Brookshire's. These colors, okay? So any colors. When I was a little girl, I'm sure they may have had that in the store, but I didn't know it. So if I wanted to make some colored sugar, I would just take white sugar and put a couple of drops of food coloring in there and continue to stir it and stir it and stir it and stir it until it colored the sugar. So you can do whatever you've got to do, right? All right, let's put purple. Beautiful purple. My favorite. I know y'all are so like, we know, Amy, we know. And then we're going to put gold, and we do them back and forth. Y'all, I think, I want to say, these colors have meanings. I wrote them down. And I want to tell y'all. The purple is for justice, the green is for faith, and the gold is for power. But that's not an old time thing. I think it said that it was someone decided those colors that was king of Mardi Gras back in like 1982. So that's not really that old. You can do these little sections as big or as small as you want to too. And you see you need to get these on here before your icing gets set. I'm going to make them a little bigger than what I'm doing. Like that. And get that green on here. Yes, when I was talking to Addie, I told her I was about to ice this king cake with y'all for her and her family. And she was all excited about it. Yes, she was. All right, guys. Now I'm going to start again with purple. Purple, purple, purple. I think purple is more like royalty to me. It's whatever it means to you, right? I love the color purple. It changes my mood just to look at it. Do y'all have a color that does that? Oh, it truly does. No joke. No joking around. Isn't he looking pretty? He is. I know. Alright. I think I'm just going to add him and let that be covered up, and I'll add a little more purple over here. Like that. I'll have a big purple spot. Y'all know I like that too. Like I say, you can put as much sugar as you want to on here or as little as you want to. That's totally up to you. I love it to be nice and vibrantly colored. Like this. Okay, guys. Y'all see none of this was hard, right? Not a bit of it. Not hard at all. And it turns out so pretty. And I cannot wait to taste a bit of this. No, I cannot. Let's decorate that other one and I'll cut into it. Let's see here. And also, I've got to have photo shoots with this before I go to cutting into it. But I'm going to get some things like some of these beads, and we're gonna make it real pretty on there. And let's see here, guys. I know we gotta have a mask. Yes, we do. Hey, y'all. Oh, I went and put on my purple lips for y'all. Yes, I did. I couldn't help it. I'm getting in the mood here. I was going to show y'all and tell y'all, let your sugar and your icing set for at least 15-20 minutes, okay? So then you won't mess it up when you go to packaging it. And you can get these big cellophane bags on Amazon. I've gotten them from the dollar store, Walmart. I've gotten them all over the place before. I hadn't had him from last year. I had several. If I see something like this I know I'm going to use, I pick them up. So this one I'm going to package this in with my son to his little family, send my grandbabies too, and get him slid in here, y'all. This is a big old cellophane bag. Woo! My icing's not quite set. I'm just going to show y'all what I do with it. All right, you behave, Kate. You behave. Okay, guys. And then I will bunch this together, and y'all know I've got some purple ribbon in this house, right? Matter of fact, I went up to the attic to get it. And so let's see here, see if y'all can see everything. And so I'll take my purple ribbon. It'd be real pretty if you have purple, gold, and green to tie on here. Yes, it would. But I just grabbed some purple and came back down here with y'all. We ready to cut into that other one, aren't we? I know it. And I'll keep him poofy. Poof him up on there. And that's how I will send this one to my kiddos. I'm going to put this one to the side. And yes, yes sir, we're going to cut into this one. I want y'all to see what it looks like. Got my knife here. I'll just use my little cutting board to show him. Let's see. Y'all, what's crazy? Y'all know what's crazy? I don't even remember where I put baby Jesus. No, I don't. King Jesus. I want to cut a purple piece. Y'all know I do. I'll do a little bit of gold and a little bit of purple. Show y'all how pretty it looks on the inside, how fluffy it is. Whoop. There we go. This icing isn't quite set either, but I know that y'all want to see how beautiful and pretty it truly is. I'm going to show both of you, okay? Y'all see that? Isn't that gorgeous? Just gorgeous. Not to mention, it is very tasty. It's a fluffy, light dough that's not too sweet. That's what I like about it. It's not too sweet. And I know all this icing on the top, but we put that little bit of lemon in there to kind of tone that down. I love it without the icing. To be honest with you, I can sit down and eat the whole thing without the icing on it. But I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to tell you what this little thing will do too. Another warning, because I've done this and told y'all this before. He will wake me up in the night calling my name to come get a piece of him. Yes, he will. He will. No joke. First thing when I wake up, I'll think, ooh, I could just go grab me a little bite of that king cake. Yes, I could. Oh, y'all. Very, very good. If you don't want to start from scratch like I just did, or we did together with our yeast, then stay with me. Check me out. I'm going to try to link those videos together on YouTube, or just look for it, because I'm going to do a semi-homemade one that we buy the packaged dough that's already frozen, you know, the loaves of bread that's already frozen, and we're going to make one like that too. And then we're going to get even easier than that.